Fat Leonard is Leonard Glenn Francis. He's a Malaysian citizen, and he has this strange history with the US Navy that dates back to the late 1980s. He was a very charismatic individual who liked to wine and dine Navy officers every time they came in for a visit. A lot of them underestimated Leonard Francis. They saw him as this big, overweight Malaysian guy who needed Navy business and always took him out for a good time. But what they didn't realize until it was too late was that Leonard, by giving them gifts or prostitutes or taking them out for dinners, he could always use this information to blackmail them if they didn't do what he wanted. And one thing Leonard Francis wanted was classified material from the Navy, because this enabled him to charge the Navy more for his services in port. He was able to rope people in to the point where he got 10 US Navy officers over a period of 7 years to leak him a steady stream of classified material. And there's really no modern parallel for this in US history. His skill as a spy is really underappreciated because he's this notorious character known as Fat Leonard, but when it comes to espionage, he was really in a class by his own. It took until 2013 for Leonard to be arrested in this massive international sting operation. But it's taken 10 years for him to be sentenced for his crimes. During that time, he cooperated with the Justice Department. He blew the whistle on hundreds of Navy officers whom he had corrupted over the years. It's really led to some soul searching for the Navy to figure out how could a foreigner, particularly a high school dropout from Malaysia, be so successful at espionage? What does that say about our defenses and about our culture that we were so susceptible to leaking all that classified information? It took me 10 years of reporting and digging and getting documents and doing interviews to get to the bottom of this whole thing. There's an extraordinary public responsibility here to explain what happened so this kind of thing could never happen again to the Navy or any other branch of the US military. But it's also a great story. I mean, how can you get bored telling stories about a guy named Fat Leonard?